Right now, I'm going to give you a beginner's guide to sharpening photographs inside of Photoshop. Hey Cafe crew, it's Colin Smith here, and it's Beginner's Weekend again. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to sharpen a photograph inside of Photoshop. So I'm going to show you what to look for and what settings you should use in order to do that. Alright, so here's a photograph that I shot, and if you look at this, you'll notice the background is out of focus, the foreground is out of focus, and just our musician here, Taylor, is nicely in focus. So when we do the sharpening, bear in mind we're not trying to sharpen areas that are out of focus. We want to sharpen those areas that are in focus and just kind of make them a little bit crisper. Alright, so what we're going to do is go under Filter, and then we're going to go down to Sharpen. And now, first time you use Photoshop, you might think to click on Sharpen is going to get you the results, but it's not really. What you want to be doing is using Unsharp Mask. I know it's a strange name, but let's turn it on. And so Unsharp Mask has three settings: amount, radius, and threshold. Alright, so it's called an Unsharp Mask because what it does is it actually creates a mask over the photo that you don't see. But once you start to blur the photo, then it'll create a little edge, and that'll add contrast to those edges, which means it'll make the darks darker and the lights lighter, and that gives the impression of a sharper photograph. So there's three settings, as I said before: the amount, radius, and the threshold. So the amount determines how much sharpening do we want to do. Now when we're outside of this box, you'll see this little square. Let's click on her face because we want to see that in focus. Now of course you can drag in here and you can move it. Another thing, as you hold down your button, notice it shows the unprocessed version. As soon as you release, it shows the sharpened version. So that way you can look at it before and after, and of course the preview here will do the same thing. But by clicking, see, there it is, and that's the default value right there. Now, when you're looking at the photograph, you really want to be viewing the photo at 100% to view the results of your sharpening. Fortunately, this little window here enables us to do the same thing without having to do that in a photo, so we can look at the entire photo at the same time. All right, so let's have a look at the amount. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this amount up really high just to kind of show you what's happening. Now, if you look at this, you can see there that's how much of this effect we want. That's essentially how strong do you want those halos to be. So if you look at these edges, see those edges there? See this amount there? It's determining how much do we want to punch that. And the radius is how thick do you want it. So if I increase that thickness or that radius, notice you can see that halo much wider. In fact, if we go all the way here, obviously this is way too much, but you can see there's that edge. It's visible now on the regular photograph. Now, I've seen people do this, or a version of this to the photo. This is over sharpened. You don't want these halos showing visibly. And the other thing you've got to watch for is areas of fine detail, such as around here, around the hair, where it can start to sizzle. And when I say sizzle, look here, see it's got these white edges around there. And I see that a lot in leaves and trees and things like that, so be aware of that. Okay, so what's the third slider do? Let me go back to the face before we do our proper settings. So the threshold, what this does is it determines where the edges are. So if I have this threshold low, it's applying sharpening everywhere. If I turn it all the way up, it's got no sharpening, and as I pull it down, you'll notice it's hitting the edges first, and then it starts to go in, and you'll see that the areas of higher contrast are getting hit, and eventually it'll start to affect the surfaces, and then now it's starting to affect all the surfaces and the surface texture as well. So this is great to kind of just roll off on the texture. So why don't we reset these settings right now? And by the way, if you wanted to reset that, just hold the Alt or Option key and hit reset, and that will also take us back there. All right, so as you can see there, now there's the unsharpened version of the photograph. So we're going to apply this up a little bit. Usually I'll bring this up to around about 100 is a good starting place, or in the 100 vicinity. And I'm just kind of looking here, looking to get that nice sharpness around these areas. Now, if you've got a very, very high resolution image, you might increase this radius a little bit higher here. If you have a low resolution image, you're going to keep this radius low. So typically between 0.8 and about 2 is a good value to be working working in for the radius. And if you look at it, notice it's not sizzling the branches or anything here, which is good. We might even increase the amount. And you can kind of see what's happening there. Now it's really making this quite sharp. And if we look at this, let me show you on the image itself. Watch this before and after. See how it's really increasing the sharpening now. But if we go into her face here, notice that all the grain and everything has been sharpened too. We don't want that. So what we're going to do is bring up the threshold just a little bit there. Look at that. So now it's still getting those edges, but notice how it's keeping that face there. Look at that. See, it's keeping that grain off there. And so it's not kind of destroying the photo so much. And I can also see that edge there is a little much still, so let's bring that back. So I just want the little hint of that without going too far. So if I'm looking at this right now, we're looking at 186. That's looking pretty good. So I'm going to apply this, but before I do, let's have a look. I'm going to click here on the preview. Before and after, let's look at some of the other areas. Let's have a look at the hair. Hold it before and after is looking good. Let's look in these areas, the fur. Before and after, and see how it's going good there. Now, one of the things you need to watch is some areas like the fur and the hair. Make sure that you don't sharpen it so much that you turn the hair into straw. That's very easy to do, so just be aware of that. And what I'll do is I'll show you a non-destructive technique right after this one really quickly. So that's looking pretty good. So I could apply that and we can look at this sharpen. I'm going to double click here to look at this 100%. And here we are at 100%, and let's look at this before. There we go. And then we can redo that again. Let's do it after, and we can see, yeah, it's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo it because I'm going to show you a second way to do it. This is a more advanced way. So what we're going to do is duplicate the background. So now we've got two layers. And then we're going to change the blending mode, which is the way these layers interact with each other, into overlay. Initially, it's going to look different. Don't worry about it. This is going to disappear pretty soon. And this is kind of almost how Unsharp Mask works, but we're going to be doing it kind of manually using a high pass filter. So we're going to go into filter, and then we go down to other. Then we go across to high pass and apply it. So if you look at this now, moving this radius is very much what you get when you're applying. See that? It's very kind of similar to that. So as you can see there, it's kind of similar to the Unsharp Mask, except we have less controls. So I just want to apply just a little bit, and we can see we're getting in there. And this high pass sharpening is really good. See these areas that are showing in gray are the areas that are getting a boost of contrast, and it's going to apply more sharpening. So click OK. The nice thing about the high pass sharpening, if I turn it off, notice it doesn't change the tones. It's just affecting the sharpness. So the nice thing about this is we can apply a layer mask by just clicking there on that layer mask. And then we're just going to hit the D key to reset our foreground background colors. And then hit the X key to make sure black is our foreground. Now we're going to grab a brush. And now we've got our brush. Let's go up here and we're just going to choose a regular brush. So just go to the top there. You could choose a general brush if you want. Just a soft edge brush is fine. Left bracket key makes it smaller. Right bracket key makes it larger. So we're going to be painting with black, normal blending mode, 100% opacity on the layer mask. Now this is good for just areas like hair. And so what I'm going to do is just going to go over that hair and maybe that fur there. And sometimes you might do it on the skin depending on how you're working. Let's zoom in a little bit. And if we look at this now, it's hard to see a little bit, but watch this. If I hold the shift key and turn the mask on, notice how the hair is sharp. Now we've painted it away from the hair. There's no sharpening, and now there's sharpening. So we've applied it, but we've taken it away from the hair, taken it away from the fur on pets and things like that, because it'll make it look very dry and straw-like. So anyway, guys, I'm curious if this was helpful to learn a little bit about sharpening. And why do we sharpen? Well, because when we're taking a photograph, your lens itself is going to create a little bit of softness. So every photograph, every file needs just a little bit of sharpening. Some people sharpen it way too much, so try to avoid that trap. Rewatch this video again, look for those things to look for. And also, if you're going to output, before you go to print or before you output it to the web, you'll want to apply a certain amount of sharpening. If you go to print, you probably want to apply a little bit more sharpening than you would if you're going out to the web. So anyway, guys, I hope this was useful and you learned something new. If you did, let me know in the comments underneath. And by the way, if you guys are new here, welcome to Photoshop Cafe. I've got new tutorials for you every single week. Just hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and you'll get those. So anyway, guys, if you like this, select that like button, which is the thumbs up, and smash it into dust. And until next time, I'll see you at the cafe.